and continuing from where I left off last show. So what's going on? I'm finishing the procedure. I'm in the end game, the grand finale of cloning and transplanting the existing living Windows installation to a different computer, different hardware profile, and at the end of the last stream I've done the cloning and tested can it boot the different computer, and it failed, and then I stopped because it's I used the intermediate carrier drive to bring the cloned partition to other computer. And so what? Use different codes. And it is slow. It is the mechanical drive, not SSD, so it's slow. So I stopped wasting time alive, and today finished. Meanwhile, fixed the booting of that cloned Windows by bringing it back to the source computer and removing disabling service, whatever it was actually causing the grinning blue screen of death in Windows boot procedure. And now that system is booted up right here. So it's this thing here below. Where is it? This is the actually cloned Windows of the PC that I'm using actually for the streaming generally. So clone that Windows and put it on a mechanical drive and put it in a different computer, and I'll actually do another cloning of that partition Windows partition onto the internal drive, the M2 SSD, which is already connected to the motherboard of that computer. Now the performance for the host computer, target computer, are very poor because it's using just the generic drivers. I didn't install proprietary drivers, so this is running off the mechanical drive, the cloned Windows from a different actually computer with different hardware profile. And before installing drivers, I'll go again into the Linux. I'll boot computer, shut down that computer, and boot it from USB, and use Linux tools for partitioning, and get this cloned to the M2 SSD for faster loading, because running this from mechanical drive is awful. I don't care at the moment for the drivers on the target computer and the performance, because I'll use this for just the work production using software that I have from all the way back 10 years ago. That's why I cloned this Windows installed. So, and meanwhile, during this procedure, I figured out that I'm using Linux. This special scenario with this in this setup for this PC, because I'm cloning the dual boot system disk. But actually I will probably I might break the Linux. Fortunately, I didn't use much that Linux install on the second partition, but I did fix the problem. Windows failing to boot, as I broke the grub, the boot menu that Linux brings in when installed alongside Windows on the same drive. I usually prefer, for the simplicity, separate drive installation of the operating systems, but sometimes I just need to put it on both operating system on the same drive. So in case moving one operating system or removing Linux or Windows from that from a drive setup, that way can break stuff, especially dual boot. That little piece of software that handles boot selection screen. And I'm pretty capable dealing with the Windows partitions, moving it, cloning it, bringing the operating system live installed, keeping the system onto a different computer profile hardware. But with Linux, I don't know how to do that, so I might go into that exploration, explore more those scenarios, because I understand that sometimes sometimes it seems that I don't know how to handle Linux partitions. I tend to break them often. So here's the workbench. So this center presentation is desktop, running the same software I'm using actually on this main streaming computer. Just the generic Windows drivers at the moment, and I'll turn it off because it's the AMD 6-core. What's this? Ryzen 5 3006 6 cores, doing nothing and already 100% constantly. 100 Celsius degrees CPU, all 6 cores. That's not good. So I need the drivers or whatever. And the original cooling is very poor, just the simple generic AMD fan and cooler. So I'll turn this off, close this, and so this is the proof of concept that the computer Windows booted. There was one incompatible service from the source computer booting the Windows on the target computer, and I just connected back the carrier driver, intermediate drive back to the source computer and removed the conflicting service and brought it back here to target computer and booted into the Windows. So I've restored actually the dual boot. I have on a small partition on this drive. This drive is smaller than the source drive actually, and I'll clone this onto the larger 2 terabyte SSD. Mainly I was doing this, like I said, mainly because of the software I'm very fond of and all of the account services I use online, so I don't need to set them up again. I just don't like reinstalling Windows, doing the setups, the installs procedures and bringing all I carry a lot of luggage from, I use computer Windows systems for 20 years and I have quite a big library to move around, and I'm always crammed with hard drives, how much available space I have to copy, clone, backup personal files. So often I need to invent the wheel, how to move a lot of data around with less storage available. So in this, I'll work with the target PC, get the boot the Linux from USB, I'll clear what I have existing already on the internal M2 drive, and just on the just as in the last stream, clone and DD in Linux partitions onto the internal drive, so I can get rid of this slow mechanical drive. SanDisk, 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 SanDisk. Why do I see so many SanDisks? USB. Will this do it? Yeah, cool. Well, just when going live, it's just very hard to do proper intro first minute. Inform everybody, newcomers, the OGs for the channel, about the what's going on. Efficient intro. But at least I've placed the scrolling text like a general disclaimer on the bottom, referring to the show notes that will be actually available in full at the end of the stream, so you can always jump. If you're watching the recording later, you can jump it at the end, the last minute, to figure out what was going on, read through the notes, see if there's some topic interesting to you, and jump into the somewhere in the, because I'm still working on getting used to marking, using markers for the video, like timestamping chapters, because I don't have a plan, and until I get my tongue speech sorted out, put my mind and tongue work together properly, get my mind and mouth working together, it takes 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes sometimes in the live stream, no productive, and then after an hour and further in the stream, it just, things are rolling, there's steam production going on, and 2 hours in, I'm just killing it. I'm doing this especially because I want to do this presentation of procedure of this type, because I'm really I come from the period when it was like fancy to be an IT guy, a guy that can read the Windows instructions next when installing Windows, who could figure out that you need to install Windows 95, 98, you need to have a floppy, or at the moment when PCs that could boot from CD were a rare thing. So I need here, I guess, the terminal. I guess I need I'll need the gparted. So this is the source drive, and this is the Windows I want to bring onto NVMe own drive, and I don't need any more these partitions. I thought I'll just put Linux on it, but actually I figured out, no, I want on this better computer, I want my OG Windows also. I didn't use this Linux at all here. Can I just flush clean this drive? I'll delete each. Yeah, I know. Delete each manually. Delete, 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 apply. Device NVMe. Clear all, apply, pending, device, create. This target computer has also another disk drive with Windows installed, and it's just Windows installations for the gaming on separate drive. Now I need to use here terminal and tell it. So this procedure is like in the first part of previous stream, and if I remember correctly, I'm a bit sleepy today. My concentration is shallow. Sudo if equal so the difference is it's not SD, it's NV. That's the difference here. I'm keeping this computer at the moment disconnected from the internet, the target computer. I don't need any surprises from update services for no reason actually. Where is my... I have on a website draft post with a link to the article I used to do this specific operation using DD to disk dump or whatever dump DD terminal command in Linux that just reads raw data in the whatever is stated and creates another in the location defined in the command. And running this operation actually will copy the first part of the information from the beginning of the drive that holds the information description about the drive geometry. So this is kind of hacky way and it creates errors, but they can be ignored. And here on this, I'm working on another computer reading the article. I'm not capturing that screen at the moment. So my source drive is just like the article says, SDA. True. So this is this partition, the first big section of this drive, NTFS WinX. I need that, but the second one with Linux, I'll actually reinstall that Linux because and I will lose again. I'll probably lose again the boot option. I will break the Windows boot, but when I again install the Linux on the second partition, I can boot into the Linux directly and install the boot repair like last time, like in the previous show. And that was the key item getting all to work. This all to work is actually two details. One detail is actually I'm lucky that my drives don't have any surface errors, so my copying partitions doesn't break anywhere. And second is that there is a actually simple to use boot repair in Linux that auto detects Windows partition and rebuilds the boot menu to select operating system which to load. And that's the key thing here. When I found that article and installed that tool on the Linux, everything worked, and that was the end. That completed the first step of preparing the everything on the source computer, because before moving the drive to next computer with different hardware, it's important to boot it into the cloned operating system Windows and remove on that in those Windows, remove the device drivers, incompatible device drivers. Because this way, when I work into the working operating system installation, I'm actually triggering its own algorithms that will handle all exceptions and trigger its functions, internal services like hardware detection and those specific things. So it handles itself. So SDA, that's what I need to do. I don't need to go... do I need to go into the SDA 1 or SDA? So DD command is sector by sector copy. Well, I already done it yesterday, I'll do it. I'm just getting curious about the SDA is a complete drive reference, and SDA1 is a reference to first partition of the drive. So it's curious, the article, I've followed the article literally by the letter, and it's using the reference to the full drive. SDA didn't reference any specific partition. and that worked for me, but I'm just noticing that detail specific. So I'm going from SDA as the source, sudo if dev SDA, sudo if off output, so input file, output file. Those are, as I understand, shorthands. And this target output is NVM. So is this 0 NVM A NVMe O N1? Is that the thing? N V M E O O O 1. Where can I check this? Where can I check this in Linux? Maybe use the tool system disks. 2 terabytes. So what's the? Is this 0? Is this 0? Can I get this into, let's say, text file? Just so I'm okay. So this is 0 NVMe 0 and 1. Okay, got it. Just because this font style, I don't want to confuse this with the letter O, while it should be 0 8192. The danger of this command is if it's misinterpreted or directed, like output OF directed to output in a rogue destination data read from input, it will destroy the everything being overwritten on the output destination output file. It will get overwritten whatever is there. Oh, DD. I wrote everything except the command itself. Cool. Here it goes. Couple minutes will just be required to get a copy of well, so this first bit here keeps is what BIOS reads where to start loading the operating system. It's probably already copied, but it's recommended in average, like give it a minute or two. Because even with this copied, I still need to actually use the copy command to copy this partition using the G part, this up that we are seeing now. Well, it says no space left on the target drive. That is weird. So what did I get? Refresh devices. I might just have messed up something. What? dd if dev sda of dev nvme o1 nvme n1 wait nvme on1 and where did I write this? Where did this end up? O1, no, N1. I wrote something somewhere. That's the danger of the dd command. Because if I address the output file location wrongly, it might end up who knows where. Who knows where this thing got created. Maybe I can try look for it with the file explorer. What's this? Is this Nautilus? Show me the hidden files. Who knows where did that end up? NVMeON1 NVMeON1. I'll kill now the dd command because I don't need all hundreds of gigabytes copied. This should be enough. So it's 18 gigs copied, that's enough of data to get all the info for how to boot this operating system. And now I can refresh the device and yeah, it's showing weird. Oh, you weird. So what's interesting here, I'm supposed to remove the partitions that I got with this command, because it says that I'm having now 386 partition, which is true. The data that is copied here in those 18 gigs on the beginning of this drive, it's actually exact clone of the data that's on from the source drive here. And like I said, that data describes this drive, where the data is, like the structure, the catalog, the addressing of information of the data that is written in this drive. And that also describes these geometry, the partition size. Where is the first partition, where is the second? But even if I delete the partition, I'm deleting the partition. And if I say apply, that will just update. That will not change the information stored on the beginning of the drive, because that information, that data is written before the actual partition. And now from here I copy this SDA to here, paste. And say yes. And this is that interestingly boring part. I'll work on this until I boot. In this stream I'll actually finish this to boot actually this Windows on this M2 SSD and remove the mechanical drive, and that will be it. It will not break the Windows booting. It will be successful because I've tested it. We've seen it at the beginning that cloned Windows can boot this computer. What's the progress? 67% done. Not bad. Slow, but that's why I'm doing this, to make it faster. A few years ago I just started using SSDs. I was on for quite a long time, until all the way to 2020 I got my first SSD. I was like convincing myself, oh, they're unreliable, they'll get corrupted. And I was complaining, and still I was like tolerating 10-minute boot time to get Windows to load and get all the work environment start, load all the software for development. Opening a project took half hour, but it was 10 gigs repository, and also running PHP server on local, on the same machine, same PC. After that, during that time, I also switched to first SSD, and I was just blown away. And I was using already 10 years old computer. And I thought to myself, well, SSD, so nice. It makes a 10-year-old computer work like a fast machine. So what am I doing? This is syncing complete. Yeah, completed everything. Update boot sectors of NFT file system on update boot sector. Okay, close. And now I need to say here set flag, manage flag boot. Boot, close, apply. Okay, and can I just now copy, clone the remaining partition? Leave this. I don't need this. And I can disconnect the drive and I'll restart the turn it off. Power off. And I can disconnect the mechanical drive. That's the deal. Disconnect the mechanical drive right now. And now I can turn it back on without the mechanical drive, because I have the operating system on. These modern BIOS UEFI, this is rubbish. I'm trying to be kind, moderate with words, but I'm left with very few options how to express myself, what I think of the modern UEFI stuff. And these modern, I find these computers useless. UEFI, garbage. That's UEFI. UEFI is garbage. Hot garbage. UEFI BIOS motherboards. Unworkable garbage. Oh, look, BIOS. Cool. Who's responsible for programming UEFI system? I shut down the operating system and restart, and no, there's an issue to read the USB stick to boot from USB when I start computer. I need to disconnect the USB, plug it back in to get it working from the UEFI. No BIOS anymore. UEFI. UEFI. Steaming pile of junk. I yet need to discover the benefits of UEFI. I'm not seeing any so far. Last few years I'm using it. It just makes my life more complicating. Higher low level subsystems on PC. Computer in a computer. Invisible computer in a computer that just trying to, I don't know, help me. Okay, can I now install? Can I maybe install Linux on the internal drive now? Is there English? No, pure English. I mean world English. I'll take the Eastern version. Keyboard. Thank you. Not erasing everything. I just want to have the alongside, so I can read the geometry, drive geometry I want to establish for new installation. Select which, okay, so modify partitions. So modify partitions. Got it. And so, am I satisfied with the size of this windows what I have here? What if I do this trickery? Can I do? I don't know. Am I satisfied with this Windows size? Yes. Give me new. Can I have, how large does it have to be, the extended partition? What's going on there? New. So what's this guy doing? New, unallocated, new, primary, extended, primary and extended, primary, extended, and I keep it 500, like this. Add. Apply. And leave 1 terabyte. Just like that. Close. Close. And I can just select now green use partition, yeah. Root. Format. Default extend, yeah. erase, install. Next. Next. 500 gigs, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do this time. But manual, grab. This will get Windows, this will get system booting directly into Linux. It's not UEFI system installation of Windows. Continue setup. Okay, let's say. Okay, I do it. I still have a backup copy, starting copy for this system. If something breaks. Works and what works? Works what? How did I get here? This is already installed. Amazing. I'll use this floating, center floating, middle date, time show, I like that. Okay, starting using, now I need the internet actually. Let's have that updates, these updates. Was this maybe, yeah, here it is. So it's again, get to the repository of this. Wow, I'm going this route now. This is then the way to go. Okay, sudo add apt repository ppa yum to boot repair sudo add apt repository ppa yan ubuntu boot repair. Okay, and sudo apt update. There you go. Sudo apt install y boot repair and boot repair. But this time it's not completely the same situations like yesterday in yesterday's stream, a little bit different. Maybe it will just like usually, like previously, automagically just work. No. Boot successfully repaired. Thank you. Maybe. I didn't take. So if this is if I get the. I'll conclude the session. If I get now the boot menu, dual boot, come on, select, and there's Windows. Will it work? Will these Windows work? Of this. Here it is. Wow. Wow. Wow, there I go. arguing with computer over terminal, or just getting the PPA boot repair free software to do the negotiation and the it's not negotiation, it's more like oh my god, my mind's so deteriorated. It's the not negotiating, it is the application is convincing. Do it, repair the boot, thank you. Does Linux work? So if your operating system is older operating system is fast for today's standards, maybe try a newer operating system that will convince you that now computer is working slower with Windows 11, and maybe you should buy new hardware. If you are satisfied or just having not having that slow boot, low times experience, maybe give it a try with the Windows 11. See if your computer works slower. Maybe that will convince you to buy new hardware. Feel the struggle like, oh, I need to save money to buy new hardware. My computer is slow with Windows 11. You know, that sweet suffering from anxiety of missing out stuff from new operating system. And here's the deal. I was actually thinking, should I install Ubuntu Studio on this computer, not the normal, because Ubuntu Studio has the option to boot low latency, but it's possible to do that yourself, create a low latency boot option for Linux, and that concludes this. This concludes this. So just like last time, show notes this time. What should you saw it? If you're checking now at the end, so this is the for the future message. If you jump to the end of the recording of this video, go a few more minutes, couple minutes back to, so I reassure you and you can confirm that I've fixed the booting. This is everything now, cloned Windows and installed the new Linux, fresh install on target computer, and I have Windows working, cloned Windows on the target computer, and that's it. And the procedures are what I've used yesterday. So for the show notes, nothing changed, I just repeated the steps. And again, I'm not using UEFI because I'm actually cloning and transferring the way old Windows installation before UEFI. So thank you all for stopping by. Show notes going. I'll refine, edit and publish this as an article on the blog, and see you next time. Now I'm pretty much done. Well, for now I think I got most of the system, house cleaning, hardware, PC setups completed. I didn't expect I'll be doing this for this PC, AMD Ryzen 5 3600, that I'll be cloning the production Windows system onto it. But there is a reason I did it, and that's because I'll get the video production much faster. And maybe I'll play with the encoder with this AMD 5 RX 590 GPU. I'll check the streaming encoder. Is it any good? What's that? AVD, HAVD, but I don't know. Hardware encoder, maybe better than this quick sync Intel's. See you next time.